Chapter 30. Fasting. Chapter 1. Fasting is obligatory in the month of Ramadan. Narrated Talha bin Ubaydullah. A Bedouin with unkempt hair came to Allah's Messenger and said, O Allah's Messenger, inform me what Allah has made compulsory for me as regards the prayers. He replied, you have to offer perfectly the 5 compulsory prayers in a day and night, 24 hours. Unless you want to pray Nawafil. The Bedouin further asked, inform me what Allah has made compulsory for me as regards fasting. He replied, you have to fast during the whole month of Ramadan, unless you want to fast more as Nawafil. The Bedouin further asked, tell me how much zakat Allah has enjoined on me. Thus Allah's Messenger informed him about all the rules, yet fundamentals of Islam. The Bedouin then said, by him who has honored you, I will neither perform any nawafil, nor will I decrease what Allah has enjoined on me. Allah's Messenger said, if he is saying the truth, he will succeed or he will be granted paradise. Narrated Ibn Umar. The Prophet observed the fast on the 10th of Muharram, Ashura, and ordered Muslims to fast on that day. But when the fasting of the month of Ramadan was prescribed, the fasting of the Ashura was abandoned. Abdullah did not use to fast on that day unless it coincided with his routine, fasting by chance. Narrated Aisha. The tribe of Quraysh used to fast on the day of Ashura in the pre-Islamic period, and then Allah's Apostle ordered Muslims to fast on it till the fasting in the month of Ramadan was prescribed. Whereupon the Prophet said, he who wants to fast on Ashura may fast, and he who does not want to fast may not fast. Chapter 2. The superiority of As-Sawm, the fasting. Narrated Abu Huraira. Allah's Messenger said, fasting is a shield, or a screen, or a shelter. So the person observing fasting should avoid sexual relation with his wife and should not behave foolishly and impudently. And if somebody fights with him or abuses him, he should tell him twice, I am fasting. The Prophet added, by him in whose hand my soul is, the smell coming out from the mouth of a fasting person is better in the sight of Allah than the smell of musk. Allah says about the fasting person, he has left his food, drink and desires for my sake. The fast is for me. So I will reward the fasting person for it, and the reward of good deeds is multiplied 10 times. Chapter 3. As-Sawm, the fasting, is an expiation for sins. Narrated Abu Wa'il from Hudayfa. Umar asked the people, who remembers the narration of the Prophet about the affliction? Hudayfa said, I heard the Prophet saying, the affliction of a person in his property, family and neighbors is expiated by his prayers, fasting and giving in charity. Umar said, I do not ask about that, but I ask about those afflictions which will spread like the waves of the sea. Hudayfa replied, there is a closed gate in front of those afflictions. Umar asked, will that gate be opened or broken? He replied, it will be broken. Umar said, then the gate will not be closed again till the day of resurrection. We said to Masruq, would you ask Hudayfa whether Umar knew what that gate symbolized? He asked him, and he replied, Umar knew it as one knows that there will be night before tomorrow morning. Chapter 4. Ar-Rayyan is for people observing Sawm. Narrated Saul. The Prophet said, "There is a gate in paradise called Ar-Rayyan, and those who observe fasts will enter through it on the day of resurrection, and none except them will enter through it. It will be said, 'Where are those who used to observe fasts?' They will get up, and none except them will enter through it. After their entry, the gate will be closed, and nobody will enter through it." Narrated Abu Huraira. Allah's Messenger said, "Whoever gives two kinds of things or property in charity for Allah's cause will be called from the gates of paradise and will be addressed, 'O slaves of Allah, here is prosperity.' So whoever was amongst the people who used to offer their prayers will be called from the gate of the prayer, and whoever was amongst the people who used to participate in jihad will be called from the gate of jihad, and whoever was amongst those who used to observe fasts will be called from the gate of Ar-Rayyan. Whoever was amongst those who used to give in charity will be called from the gate of charity." Abu Bakr said, "Let my parents be sacrificed for you, O Allah's Messenger. No distress or need will befall him who will be called from those gates. Will there be anyone who will be called from all these gates?" The Prophet replied, "Yes, and I hope you will be one of them." Chapter 5. Should it be said Ramadan or the month of Ramadan, and whoever thinks that both are permissible? Narrated Abu Huraira. Allah's Messenger said, "When Ramadan begins, the gates of paradise are opened." Narrated Abu Huraira. Allah's Messenger said, "When the month of Ramadan starts, the gates of the heaven are opened, and the gates of hell are closed, and the devils are chained." Narrated Ibn Umar. I heard Allah's Messenger saying, "When you see the crescent of the month of Ramadan, start fasting, and when you see the crescent of the month of Shawwal, stop fasting, and if the sky is overcast and you can't see it, then regard the month of Ramadan as of 30 days. Chapter 6. Whoever observed fast in Ramadan out of sincere faith with honest intention. Narrated Abu Huraira. The Prophet said, "Whoever established prayers on the night of Qadr out of sincere faith and hoping for a reward from Allah, then all his previous sins will be forgiven, and whoever fasts in the month of Ramadan out of sincere faith and hoping for a reward from Allah, then all his previous sins will be forgiven." Chapter 7. The Prophet used to be most generous in the month of Ramadan. Narrated Ibn Abbas. The Prophet was the most generous amongst the people, and he used to be more so in the month of Ramadan, when Gabriel visited him, and Gabriel used to meet him on every night of Ramadan till the end of the month. The Prophet used to recite the Holy Quran to Gabriel, and when Gabriel met him, he used to be more generous than a fast wind, which causes rain and welfare. Chapter 8. Whoever does not give up lying speech while observing Sawm. Narrated Abu Huraira. The Prophet said, "Whoever does not give up forged speech and evil action, Allah is not in need of his leaving his food and drink, yet Allah will not accept his fasting." Chapter 9. Should one say, "I am observing Sawm fast" on being abused? Narrated Abu Huraira. Allah's Messenger said, Allah said, "All the deeds of Adam's sons, people are for them, except fasting, which is for me, and I will give the reward for it. Fasting is a shield or a protection from the fire and from committing sins. If one of you is fasting, he should avoid sexual relation with his wife and quarreling. And if somebody should fight or quarrel with him, he should say, I am fasting. By him in whose hand my soul is, the unpleasant smell coming out from the mouth of a fasting person is better in the sight of Allah than the smell of musk. There are two pleasures for the fasting person, one at the time of breaking his fast, and the other at the time when he will meet his Lord. Then he will be pleased because of his fasting. Chapter 10. As-Sawm for those who fear committing illegal sexual acts. Narrated Al-Qama. While I was walking with Abdullah, he said, we were in the company of the Prophet, and he said, he who can't afford to marry should marry, because it will help him refrain from looking at other women, and save his private parts from committing illegal sexual relation. And he who cannot afford to marry is advised to fast, as fasting will diminish his sexual power. Chapter 11. Start observing Sawm on seeing the crescent of Ramadan, and stop on seeing the crescent of Shawwal. Narrated Abdullah bin Umar. Allah's Messenger mentioned Ramadan and said, do not fast unless you see the crescent of Ramadan, and do not give up fasting till you see the crescent of Shawwal. But if the sky is overcast, if you cannot see it, then act on estimation, count Shaban as 30 days. Narrated Abdullah bin Umar. Allah's Messenger said, the month can be 29 nights, days, and do not fast till you see the moon. And if the sky is overcast, then complete Shaban as 30 days. Narrated Ibn Umar. The Prophet said, the month is like this and this. At the same time he showed the fingers of both his hands thrice, and left out one thumb and on the third time. Narrated Abu Huraira. The Prophet or Abul Qasim said, start fasting on seeing the crescent of Ramadan, and give up fasting on seeing the crescent of Shawwal, and if the sky is overcast and you cannot see it, complete 30 days of Shaban. Narrated Salama. The Prophet vowed to keep aloof from his wives for a period of 1 month, and after the completion of 29 days, he went either in the morning or in the afternoon to his wives. Someone said to him, you vowed that you would not go to your wives for 1 month. He replied, the month is of 29 days. Narrated Anas. Allah's Messenger vowed to keep aloof from his wives for 1 month, and he had dislocation of his leg, so he stayed in a mashruba for 29 nights, and then came down. Some people said, O Allah's Messenger, you vowed to stay aloof for 1 month. He replied, the month is of 29 days. Chapter 12. The 2 months of Eid do not decrease. Narrated Abu Bakr. The Prophet said, the 2 months of Eid, Ramadan and Dhul Hijjah, do not decrease in superiority. Chapter 13. We neither write nor know accounts. Narrated Ibn Umar. The Prophet said, we are an illiterate nation, we neither write nor know accounts. The month is like this and this, sometimes of 29 days and sometimes of 30 days. Chapter 14. Not to observe Sawm for a day or two ahead of Ramadan. Narrated Abu Huraira. The Prophet said, "None of you should fast a day or two before this month of Ramadan, unless he has the habit of fasting nawafil. And if his fasting coincides with that day, then he can fast that day." Chapter 15. It is made lawful for you to have sexual relations with your wives on the night of the As-Sawm. Narrated Al-Bara. It was the custom among the companions of Muhammad that if any one of them was fasting, and the food was presented for breaking his fast, but he slept before eating, he would not eat at night, and the following day till sunset. Qais bin Sirma al-Ansari was fasting, and came to his wife at the time of iftar, breaking one's fast, and asked her whether she had anything to eat. She replied, "No, but I would go and bring some for you." He used to do hard work during the day, so he was overwhelmed by sleep and slept. When his wife came and saw him, she said, "Disappointment for you." When it was midday on the following day, he fainted, and the Prophet was informed about the whole matter, and the following verses were revealed. You are permitted to go to your wives for sexual relation at the night of fasting, so they were overjoyed by it. And then Allah also revealed, "And eat and drink until the white thread of dawn appears to you, distinct from the black thread of the night." 287. Chapter 16. The statement of Allah Ta'ala, "And eat and drink until the white thread of dawn appears to you, distinct from the black." Narrated Adi bin Hatim. When the above verses were revealed, "Until the white thread appears to you, distinct from the black thread," I took 2 hair strings, one black and the other white, and kept them under my pillow, and went on looking at them throughout the night, but could not make anything out of it. So the next morning I went to Allah's Messenger and told him the whole story. He explained to me, "That verse means the darkness of the night and the whiteness of the dawn." Narrated Sal bin Sa'ud. When the following verses were revealed, "Eat and drink until the white thread appears to you, distinct from the black thread," and of dawn was not revealed, some people who intended to fast tied black and white threads to their legs, and went on eating till they differentiated between the two. Allah then revealed the words of dawn, and it became clear that that meant night and day. Chapter 17. The Adhan of Bilal should not stop you from taking Sahur. Narrated Aisha. Bilal used to pronounce the Adhan at night, so Allah's Messenger said, "Carry on taking your meals, eat and drink, till Ibn Maktum pronounces the Adhan, for he does not pronounce it till it is dawn." Chapter 18. Taking the Sahur hurriedly, shortly before dawn. Narrated Sal bin Sa'd. I used to take my Sahur meals with my family and then hurry up for presenting myself for the Fajr prayer with Allah's Messenger. Chapter 19. Interval between the Sahur and Salat ul-Fajr. Narrated Anas. Zayd bin Thabit said, "We took the Sahur with the Prophet. Then he stood up for the prayer. I asked, 'What was the interval between the Sahur and the Adhan?' He replied, 'The interval was sufficient to recite 50 verses of the Quran.'" Chapter 20. Sahur is a blessing, but it is not compulsory. Narrated Abdullah. The Prophet fasted for days continuously. The people also did the same, but it was difficult for them. So the Prophet forbade them to fast continuously for more than one day. They slid, but you fast without break. No food was taken in the evening or in the morning. The Prophet replied, I am not like you, for I am provided with food and drink by Allah. Narrated Anas bin Malik. The Prophet said, take suhoor, as there is a blessing in it. Chapter 21. If the intention of Sawm was made in the daytime. Narrated Salama bin al-Aqwa. Once the Prophet ordered a person on Ashura, the 10th of Muharram, to announce, whoever has eaten should not eat anymore, but fast, and who has not eaten should not eat, but complete his fast till the end of the day. Chapter 22. If a person observing Sawm gets up in the morning in the state of Janaba. Narrated Aisha and Salama. At times, Allah's Messenger used to get up in the morning in the state of Janaba after having sexual relations with his wives. He would then take a bath and fast. Chapter 23. To embrace while one is observing Sawm fast. Narrated Aisha. The Prophet used to kiss and embrace his wives while he was fasting, and he had more power to control his desires than any of you, said Jabir. The person who gets discharged after casting a look on his wife should complete his fast. Chapter 24. Kissing by a fasting person. Narrated Hisham's father. Aisha said, Allah's Messenger used to kiss some of his wives while he was fasting, and then she smiled. Narrated Zainab, daughter of Salama, that her mother said, while I was lying with Allah's Messenger underneath a woolen sheet, I got the menstruation and then slipped away and put on the clothes which I used to wear in menses. He asked, what is the matter? Did you get your menses? I replied, in the affirmative, and then entered underneath that woolen sheet. I and Allah's Messenger used to take a bath from one water pot, and he used to kiss me while he was fasting. Chapter 25. Taking a bath by a person observing Sawm fast. Narrated Aisha. At times in the Ramadan, the Prophet used to take a bath in this morning, not because of a wet dream, and would continue his fast. Narrated Abu Bakr bin Abdur Rahman. My father and I went to Aisha, and she said, I testify that Allah's Messenger at times used to get up in the morning in a state of janaba from sexual intercourse, not from a wet dream, and then he will fast that day. Then he went to Salama, and she also narrated a similar thing. Chapter 26. If a person observing Sawm ate or drank forgetfully. Narrated Abu Huraira. The Prophet said, if somebody eats or drinks forgetfully, then he should complete his fast, for what he has eaten or drunk has been given to him by Allah. Chapter 27. Siwak for the person observing Sawm fast. Narrated Amir bin Rabia. I saw the Prophet cleaning his teeth with siwak while he was fasting so many times as I can't count. And narrated Abu Huraira. The Prophet said, but for my fear that it will be hard for my followers, I would have ordered them to clean their teeth with sivak on every performance of ablution. The same is narrated by Jabir and Zayd bin Khalid from the Prophet, who did not differentiate between a fasting and a non-fasting person in this respect using sivak. Aisha said, the Prophet said, sivak is a purification for the mouth, and it is a way of seeking Allah's pleasures. Atta and Qatada said, there is no harm in swallowing their resultant saliva. Narrated Humran. I saw Uthman performing ablution. He washed his hands thrice, rinsed his mouth, and then washed his nose by putting water in it, and then blowing it out, and washed his face thrice, and then washed his right forearm up to the elbow thrice, and then the left forearm up to the elbow thrice, then smeared his head with water, washed his right foot thrice, and then his left foot thrice, and said, I saw Allah's apostle performing ablution similar to my present ablution. And then he said, whoever performs ablution like my present ablution, and then offers 2 rakat in which he does not think of worldly things, all his previous sins will be forgiven. Chapter 28. Whoever performs ablution should put water in his nose and then blow it out. Chapter 29. Sexual intercourse with wife in Ramadan. Narrated Aisha. A man came to the Prophet and said that he had been ruined. The Prophet asked him what was the matter. He replied, I had sexual intercourse with my wife in Ramadan while I was fasting. Then a basket full of dates was brought to the Prophet, and he asked, where is the ruined man? He replied, I am present. The Prophet told him to give that basket in charity as expiation. Chapter 30. Sexual intercourse with wife in Ramadan and the expiation of that. Narrated Abu Huraira. While we were sitting with the Prophet, a man came and said, O Allah's Messenger, I have been ruined. Allah's Messenger asked, what was the matter with him? He replied, I had sexual intercourse with my wife while I was fasting. Allah's Messenger asked him, can you afford to manumit a slave? He replied in the negative. Allah's Messenger asked him, can you fast for 2 successive months? He replied in the negative. The Prophet asked him, can you afford to feed 60 poor persons? He replied in a negative. The Prophet kept silent, and while we were in that state, a big basket full of dates was brought to the Prophet. He asked, where is the questioner? He replied, I am here. The Prophet said to him, take this basket of dates and give it in charity. The man said, should I give it to a person poorer than I? By Allah, there is no family between Medina's 2 mountains who are poorer than I. The Prophet smiled till his premolar teeth became visible, and then said, feed your family with it. Chapter 31. To feed family from sin expiation, kafara, if they are needy. Narrated Abu Huraira. A man came to the Prophet and said, I had sexual intercourse with my wife on Ramadan while fasting. The Prophet asked him, can you afford to manumit a slave? He replied in a negative. The Prophet asked him, can you fast for 2 successive months? He replied in a negative. He asked him, can you afford to feed 60 poor persons? He replied in a negative. Abu Huraira added, then a basket full of dates was brought to the Prophet, and he said to that man, feed poor people with this by way of atonement. He said, should I feed it to poorer people than we? There is no poorer house than ours between its Medina's mountains. The Prophet said, then feed your family with it. Chapter 32. cupping and vomiting in Psalm fast. Narrated Ibn Abbas. The Prophet was cupped while he was in the state of Iram, and also while he was observing a fast. Narrated Ibn Abbas. The Prophet was cupped while he was fasting. Narrated Thabit al-Bunani. Anas bin Malik was asked whether they disliked the cupping for a fasting person. He replied in a negative and said, only if it causes weakness. Chapter 33. To observe Sawm fast or not during journeys. Narrated Ibn Abi Aufa. We were in the company of Allah's Messenger on a journey. He said to a man, get down and mix savik, powdered barley, with water for me. The man said, the sun has not set yet. O Allah's Messenger. The Prophet again said to him, get down and mix savik with water for me. The man again said, O Allah's Messenger. The Prophet said to him for the third time, get down and mix savik with water for me. The man dismounted and mixed savik with water for him. The Prophet drank it and then beckoned with his hand towards the east and said, when you see the night falling from this side, then a fasting person should break his fast. Narrated Aisha. Hamza bin Amr al-Aslami said, O Allah's Messenger, I fast continuously. Narrated Aisha. The wife of the Prophet, Hamza bin Amr al-Aslami, asked the Prophet, should I fast while traveling? The Prophet replied, you may fast if you wish, and you may not fast if you wish. Chapter 34. If a person observed Sawm for Sunday and then went on a journey. Narrated Ibn Abbas. Allah's Messenger set out for Mecca in the Ramadan and he fasted, and when he reached Al-Qadid, he broke his fast, and the people with him broke their fast too. Abu Abdullah said, Al-Qadid is a land covered with water between Usfan and Qudayd. Chapter 35. Narrated Abu ad-Darda. We set out with Allah's Messenger on one of his journeys on a very hot day, and it was so hot that one had to put his hand over his head because of the severity of heat. None of us was fasting except the Prophet and Ibn Rabaha. Chapter 36. It is not righteousness to observe Sawm on a journey. Narrated Jabir bin Abdullah. Allah's Messenger was on a journey and saw a crowd of people, and a man was being shaded by them. He asked, what is the matter? They said, he, the man, is fasting. The Prophet said, it is not righteousness that you fast on a journey. Chapter 37. Not to criticize each other for observing Sawm or not on journeys. Narrated Anas bin Malik. We used to travel with the Prophet, and neither did the fasting persons criticize those who were not fasting, nor did those who were not fasting criticize the fasting ones. Chapter 38. Whoever broke his Sawm fast on a journey publicly. Narrated Tawus. Ibn Abbas said, Allah's Messenger set out from Medina to Mecca, and he fasted till he reached Usfan, where he asked for water and raised his hand to let the people see him, and then broke the fast, and did not fast after that till he reached Mecca, and that happened in Ramadan. Ibn Abbas used to say, Allah's Messenger sometimes fasted and sometimes did not fast during the journeys, so whoever wished to fast could fast, and whoever wished not to fast could do so. Chapter 39. Those who can fast with difficulty have to feed a poor person. Narrated Nafi. Ibn Umar recited the verse. They had a choice either to fast or to feed a poor person for every day, and said that the order of this verse was cancelled. Chapter 40. To make up for the missed days of fasting. Narrated Aisha. Sometimes I missed some days of Ramadan, but could not fast in lieu of them, except in the month of Shaban, said Yahya, a some narrator. She used to be busy serving the Prophet. Chapter 41. The menstruating should leave the Sawm and Salat. Narrated Abu Sa'id. The Prophet said, "Isn't it true that a woman does not pray and does not fast on menstruating? And that is the defect, a loss in her religion." Chapter 42. Can somebody else observe Sawm instead of the dead? Narrated Aisha. Allah's Messenger said, "Whoever died and he ought to have fasted the missed days of Ramadan, then his guardians must fast on his behalf." Narrated Ibn Abbas. A man came to the Prophet and said, "O Allah's Messenger, my mother died and she ought to have fasted 1 month for a missed Ramadan. Shall I fast on her behalf?" The Prophet replied in the affirmative and said, Allah's debts have more right to be paid. In another narration, a woman is reported to have said, "My sister died." Narrated Ibn Abbas. A woman said to the Prophet, "My mother died, and she had vowed to fast, but she didn't fast." In another narration, Ibn Abbas is reported to have said, "A woman said to the Prophet, my mother died while she ought to have fasted for 15 days. Chapter 43. When to break the Sawm fast. Narrated Umar bin al-Khattab. Allah's Messenger said, "When night falls from the side and the day vanishes from the side and the sun sets, then the fasting person should break his fast." Narrated Abdullah bin Abu Awfa. We were in the company of the Prophet on a journey, and he was fasting, and when the sun set, he addressed somebody, "Oh so and so, get up and mix savik with water for us." He replied, "O Allah's Apostle, will you wait till it is evening?" The Prophet said, "Get down and mix savik with water for us." He replied, "O Allah's Messenger, if you wait till it is evening." The Prophet said again, "Get down and mix savik with water for us." He replied, "It is still daytime." The Prophet said again, "Get down and mix savik with water for us." He got down and mixed savik for them. The Prophet drank it and then said, "When you see night falling from this side, the fasting person should break his fast." Chapter 44. Iftar to break the Sawm fast. Narrated Abdullah bin Abi Awfa. We were traveling with Allah's Messenger, and he was fasting, and when the sun set, he said to someone, "Get down and mix savik with water for us." He replied, "O Allah's Messenger, will you wait till it is evening?" The Prophet again said, "Get down and mix savik with water for us." He replied, "O Allah's Messenger, it is still daytime." The Prophet said again, "Get down and mix savik with water for us." So he got down and carried out that order. The Prophet then said, "When you see night falling from this side, the fasting person should break his fast," and he beckoned with his finger towards the east. Chapter 45. To hasten the iftar. Narrated Sal bin Sa'd. Allah's Messenger said, "The people will remain on the right path as long as they hasten the breaking of the Narrated Ibn Abi Aufa. I was with the Prophet on a journey, and he observed the fast till evening. The Prophet said to a man, "Get down and mix sawiq with water for me." He replied, "Will you wait till it is evening?" The Prophet said, "Get down and mix sawiq with water for me. When you see night falling from this side, the fasting person should break his fast." Chapter 46. If somebody breaks the Sawm thinking that the sun has set. Narrated Abu Usama from Hisham bin Urwa from Fatima. Asma bint Abi Bakr said, "We broke our fast during the lifetime of the Prophet on a cloudy day, and then the sun appeared." Hisham was asked, "Were they ordered to fast in lieu of that day?" He replied, "It had to be made up for." Mamar said, "I heard Hisham saying, I don't know whether they fasted in lieu of that day or not." Chapter 47. Sawm, fasting of boys, children, etc. Narrated Ar-Rubi bint Muawada. Narrated Ar-Rubi bint Muawad. The Prophet sent a messenger to the village of the Ansar in the morning of the day of Ashura, 10th of Muharram, to announce, "Whoever has eaten something should not eat but complete the fast, and whoever is observing the fast should complete it." She further said, "Since then we used to fast on that day regularly, and also make our boys fast. We used to make toys of wool for the boys, and if any one of them cried for, he was given those toys till it was the time of the breaking of the fast." Chapter 48. To observe Sawm, fast continuously. Narrated Anas. The Prophet said, "Do not practice al-wisal, fasting continuously without breaking one's fast in the evening or eating before the following dawn." The people said to the Prophet, "But you practice al-wisal." The Prophet replied, "I am not like any of you, for I am given food and drink by Allah during the night." Narrated Abdullah bin Umar. Allah's messenger forbade al-wisal. The people said to him, "But you practice it." He said, "I am not like you, for I am given food and drink by Allah." Narrated Abu Sa'id that he had heard the Prophet saying, "Do not fast continuously, practice al-wisal, and if you intend to lengthen your fast, then carry it on only till the suhoor before the following dawn." The people said to him, "But you practice al-wisal, O Allah's messenger." He replied, "I am not similar to you, for during my sleep I have one who makes me eat and drink." Narrated Aisha. Allah's messenger forbade al-wisal out of mercy to them. They said to him, "But you practice al-wisal." He said, "I am not similar to you, for my Lord gives me food and drink." Chapter 49. The punishment for the person who practices al-wisal very often. Narrated Abu Huraira. Allah's messenger forbade al-wisal in fasting, so one of the Muslims said to him, "But do you practice al-wisal?" "O Allah's messenger," the Prophet replied, "Who amongst you is similar to me? I am given food and drink during my sleep by my Lord." So when the people refused to stop al-wisal, fasting continuously, the Prophet fasted day and night continuously along with them for a day, and then another day, and then they saw the crescent moon of the month of Shawwal. The Prophet said to them angrily, "If the crescent had not appeared, I would have made you fast for a longer period." That was as a punishment for them when they refused to stop practicing al-wisal. Narrated Abu Huraira. The Prophet said twice, "O you people, be cautious, do not practice al-wisal." The people said to him, "But you practice al-wisal." The Prophet replied, my Lord gives me food and drink during my sleep. Do that much of deeds which is within your ability. Chapter 50. To observe Sahum continuously day and night, al-Wisal, till the time of Sahar. Narrated Abu Sa'id al-Khudri. Allah's Messenger said, do not fast continuously day and night, practice al-Wisal. And if any one of you intends to fast continuously day and night, he should continue till the Suhoor time. They said, but do you practice al-Wisal, O Allah's Messenger? The Prophet said, I am not similar to you. During my sleep I have one who makes me eat and drink. Chapter 51. If someone forces his Muslim brother to break his Nawafil fast. Narrated Abu Juhayfa. The Prophet made a bond of brotherhood between Salman and Abu ad-Darda. Salman paid a visit to Abu ad-Darda and found ad-Darda dressed in shabby clothes and asked her why she was in that state. She replied, your brother Abu ad-Darda is not interested in the luxuries of this world. In the meantime, Abu ad-Darda came and prepared a meal for Salman. Salman requested Abu ad-Darda to eat with him, but Abu ad-Darda said, I am fasting. Salman said, I am not going to eat unless you eat. So Abu ad-Darda ate with Salman. When it was night and a part of the night passed, Abu ad-Darda got up to offer the night prayer, but Salman told him to sleep and Abu ad-Darda slept. After some time, Abu ad-Darda again got up, but Salman told him to sleep. When it was the last hours of the night, Salman told him to get up then, and both of them offered a prayer. Salman told Abu ad-Darda, your Lord has a right on you. Your soul has a right on you, and your family has a right on you, so you should give the rights of all those who has a right on you. Abu ad-Darda came to the Prophet and narrated the whole story. The Prophet said, Salman has spoken the truth. Chapter 52. Sahum fasting in the month of Shaban. Narrated Aisha. Allah's Messenger used to fast till one would say that he would never stop fasting, and he would abandon fasting till one would say that he would never fast. I never saw Allah's Messenger fasting for a whole month, except the month of Ramadan. I did not see him fasting in any month more than in the month of Shaban. Narrated Aisha. The Prophet never fasted in any month more than in the month of Shaban. He used to say, do those deeds which you can do easily, as Allah will not get tired of giving rewards till you get bored and tired of performing religious deeds. The most beloved prayer to the Prophet was the one that was done regularly throughout the life, even if it were little. And whenever the Prophet offered a prayer, he used to offer it regularly. Chapter 53. Fasting and non-fasting periods of the Prophet Sauce. Narrated Ibn Abbas. The Prophet never fasted a full month except the month of Ramadan. And he used to fast till one could say, by Allah, he will never stop fasting, and he will abandon fasting till one would say, by Allah, he will never fast. Narrated Anas. Allah's Messenger used to leave fasting in a certain month till we thought that he would not fast in that month, and he used to fast in another month till we thought he would not stop fasting at all in that month. And if one wanted to see him praying at night, one could see him in that condition, and if one wanted to see him sleeping at night, one could see him in that condition too. Narrated Humayd. I asked Anas about the fasting of the Prophet. He said, whenever I like to see the Prophet fasting in any month, I could see that. And whenever I like to see him not fasting, I could see that too. And if I like to see him praying in any night, I could see that. And if I like to see him sleeping, I could see that too. Anas further said, I never touched silk or velvet softer than the hand of Allah's Messenger, and never smelled musk or perfumed smoke more pleasant than the smell of Allah's Messenger. Chapter 54. The Right of the Guest in Fasting. Narrated Abdullah bin Amr bin al-As. Once Allah's Messenger came to me, and then he narrated the whole narration. Yeah, your guest has a right on you, and your wife has a right on you. I then asked about the fasting of David. The Prophet replied, half of the year, yeah, he used to fast on every alternate day. Chapter 55. The Right of the Body in Observing As-Sawm. Narrated Abdullah bin Amr bin al-As. Allah's Messenger said to me, O Abdullah, have I not been informed that you fast during the day and offer praise all the night? Abdullah replied, Yes, O Allah's Messenger. The Prophet said, Don't do that. Fast for a few days and then give it up for a few days. Offer prayers and also sleep at night, as your body has a right on you, and your wife has a right on you, and your guest has a right on you. And it is sufficient for you to fast 3 days in a month, as the reward of a good deed is multiplied 10 times. So it will be like fasting throughout the year. I insisted on fasting, and so I was given a hard instruction. I said, O Allah's Messenger, I have power. The Prophet said, Fast like the fasting of the Prophet David, and do not fast more than that. I said, How was the fasting of the Prophet of Allah, David? He said, half of the year. Yeah, he used to fast on every alternate day. Afterwards, when Abdullah became old, he used to say, It would have been better for me if I had accepted the permission of the Prophet, which he gave me, to fast only 3 days a month. Chapter 56. Observing Sawm fasting daily throughout their life. Narrated Abdullah bin Amr. Allah's Messenger was informed that I had taken an oath to fast daily and to pray every night, all the night throughout my life. So Allah's Messenger came to me and asked whether it was correct. I replied, Let my parents be sacrificed for you. I said so. The Prophet said, You cannot do that. So fast for a few days and give it up for a few days. Offer salat prayer and sleep. Fast 3 days a month, as the reward of good deeds is multiplied 10 times, and that will be equal to 1 year of fasting. The Prophet said to me, Fast 1 day and give up fasting for 2 days. I replied, I can do better than that. The Prophet said to me, Fast 1 day and give up fasting for a day, and that is the fasting of Prophet David, and that is the best fasting. I said, I have the power to fast better more than that. The Prophet said, There is no better fasting than that. Chapter 57. The Right of the Family, Wife in Observing As-Sawm. Narrated Abdullah bin Amr. The news of my daily fasting and praying every night throughout the night reached the Prophet. So he sent for me, or I met him. And he said, I have been informed that you fast every day and pray every night, all the night. Fast for some days and give up fasting for some days. Pray and sleep, for your eyes have a right on you, and your body and your family, your wife, have a right on you. I replied, I have more power than that, fasting. The Prophet said, Then fast like the fasts of the Prophet David, I said, "How?" He replied, "He used to fast on alternate days, and he used not to flee on meeting the enemy." I said, "From where can I get that chance?" Atta said, "I do not know how the expression of fasting daily throughout the life occurred, so the prophet said twice, 'Whoever fasts daily throughout his life is just as the one who does not fast at all.'" Chapter 58. Sahih fasting on alternate days. Narrated Mujahid from Abdullah bin Amr. The Prophet said to Abdullah, "Fast 3 days a month." Abdullah said to the Prophet, "I am able to fast more than that." They kept on arguing on this matter till the Prophet said, "Fast on alternate days and recite the whole Quran once a month." Abdullah said, "I can recite more in a month." And the argument went on till the Prophet said, "Recite the Quran once each 3 days. Yet you must not recite the whole Quran in less than 3 days." Chapter 59. The Sahih fasting of David alayhi salam. Narrated Abdullah bin Amr bin al-As. The Prophet said to me, "You fast daily all the year and pray every night, all the night." I replied in the affirmative. The Prophet said, "If you keep on doing this, your eyes will become weak and your body will get tired. He who fasts all the year is as he who did not fast at all. The fasting of 3 days a month will be equal to the fasting of the whole year." I replied, "I have the power for more than this." The Prophet said, "Then fast like the fasting of David, who used to fast on alternate days and will never flee from the battlefield on meeting the enemy." Narrated Abdullah bin Amr. Allah's Messenger was informed about my fasts, and he came to me, and I spread for him a leather cushion stuffed with palm fibers, but he sat on the ground, and the cushion remained between me and him. And then he said, "Isn't it sufficient for you to fast 3 days a month?" I replied, "O Allah's Apostle, I can fast more." He said, 5. I replied, "O Allah's Messenger, I can fast more." He said, 7. I replied, "O Allah's Messenger, I can fast more." He said, 9 days per month. I replied, "O Allah's Messenger, I can fast more." He said, 11 days per month. And then the Prophet said, "There is no fast superiority to that of the Prophet David. It was for half of the year. So fast on alternate days." Chapter 60. To fast the 13th, 14th and 15th of the lunar months. Narrated Abu Huraira. My friend the Prophet advised me to observe 3 things. 1. To fast 3 days a month. 2. To pray 2 rakat of duha prayer, forenoon prayer. And 3. To pray witr before sleeping. Chapter 61. Whoever visited some people and did not break his optional Sahih fast with them. Narrated Anas. The Prophet paid a visit to Sulaim, and she placed before him dates and ghee. The Prophet said, "Replace the ghee and dates in their respective containers, for I am fasting." Then he stood somewhere in her house and offered an optional prayer, and then he invoked good on Sulaim and her family. Then Sulaim said, "O Allah's Messenger, I have a special request today." He said, "What is it?" She replied, Please invoke for your servant Anas." So Allah's Messenger did not leave anything good in the world or the hereafter, which he did not invoke Allah to bestow on me, and said, O Allah, give him Anas property and children, and bless him. Thus I am one of the richest among the Ansar, and my daughter Umayna told me that when Al-Hajjaj came to Basra, more than 120 of my offspring had been buried. Chapter 62. Fasting the last days of the month. Narrated Mutarif from Imran bin Hussein, that the Prophet asked him Imran, or asked a man, and Imran was listening, O Abu so-and-so, have you fasted the last days of this month? The narrator thought that he said, the month of Ramadan. The man replied, No, O Allah's Messenger. The Prophet said to him, when you finish your fasting of Ramadan, fast 2 days in Shawwal. Through another series of narrators, Imran said, the Prophet said, have you fasted the last days of Shaban? Chapter 63. Observing Sawm fast on Friday. Narrated Muhammad bin Abbas. I asked Jabir, did the Prophet forbid fasting on Fridays? He replied, yes. Other narrators added, if he intends to fast only that day. Narrated Abu Huraira. I heard the Prophet saying, none of you should fast on Friday unless he fasts a day before or after it. Narrated Abu Ayyub from Juwayriya bint al-Harith. The Prophet visited her, Juwayriya, on a Friday, and she was fasting. He asked her, did you fast yesterday? She said, no. He said, do you intend to fast tomorrow? She said, no. He said, then break your fast. Through another series of narrators, Abu Ayyub is reported to have said, he ordered her and she broke her fast. Chapter 64. Can one select some special days for observing Sawm fast? Narrated Al-Qamah. I asked Aisha, did Allah's Apostle used to choose some special days for fasting? She replied, no, but he used to be regular, constant in his service of worshipping. Who amongst you can endure what Allah's Messenger used to endure? Chapter 65. Observing Sawm fast on the day of Arafah. Narrated al-Fadl bint al-Harith. While the people were with me on the day of Arafat, they differed as to whether the Prophet was fasting or not. Some said that he was fasting, while others said that he was not fasting. So I sent to him a bowl full of milk, while he was riding over his camel, and he drank it. Narrated Maimuna. The people doubted whether the Prophet was fasting on the day of Arafat or not. So I sent milk while he was standing at Arafat. He drank it, and the people were looking at him. Chapter 66. Observing Sawm on the first day of Eid ul-Fitr. Narrated Abu Ubaid. The slave of Ibn Asar. I witnessed the Eid with Umar bin al-Khattab, who said, Allah's Messenger has forbidden people to fast on the day on which you break fasting, the fasts of Ramadan, and the day on which you eat the meat of your sacrifices, the first day of Eid ul-Fitr and Eid ul-Adha. Narrated Abu Sa'id. The Prophet forbade the fasting of Eid ul-Fitr and Eid ul-Adha, 2 feast days, and also the wearing of as-Sama, a single garment covering the whole body, and sitting with one's legs drawn up while being wrapped in one garment. He also forbade the prayers after the Fajr morning and the Asr afternoon prayers. Chapter 67. Observing Sahum on the first day of Eid ul-Adha. Narrated Abu Huraira. 2 fasts and 2 kinds of sale are forbidden: fasting on the day of Eid ul-Fitr and Eid ul-Adha, and the kinds of sale called Mulamasa and Munabada. These 2 kinds of sale used to be practiced in the days of pre-Islamic period of ignorance. Mulamasa means when you touch something displayed for sale, you have to buy it. Munabada means when a seller throws something to you, you have to buy it. Narrated Ziyad bin Jubair. A man went to Ibn Umar and said, a man vowed to fast one day. The sub-narrator thinks that he said that the day was Monday, and that day happened to be Eid day. Ibn Umar said, Allah orders vows to be fulfilled, and the Prophet forbade the fasting on this day, Eid. Narrated Abu Sa'id al-Khudri, who fought in 12 Ghazawat in the company of the Prophet. I heard 4 things from the Prophet, and they won my admiration. He said, 1. No lady should travel on a journey of 2 days except with her husband or a di mahram. 2. No fasting is permissible on the 2 days of Eid ul-Fitr and Eid ul-Adha. 3. No prayer may be offered after the morning compulsory prayer until the sun rises, and no prayer after the Asr prayer till the sun sets. 4. One should travel only for visiting 3 Masjid mosques: Masjid al-Haram, Mecca; Masjid al-Aqsa, Jerusalem; and this my mosque at Mecca. My mosque at Medina. Chapter 68. Observing Sahum fast on Tashriq days. Narrated Yahya. Hisham said, my father said that Aisha Ra used to observe Sahum fast on the days of Mina. Hisham's father also used to observe Sahum on those days. Narrated Aisha and Ibn Umar. Nobody was allowed to fast on the days of Tashriq except those who could not afford the Hadi sacrifice. Narrated Ibn Umar. Fasting for those who perform Haji at-Tamattu in lieu of the Hadi, which they cannot afford, may be performed up to the day of Arafat, and if one does not get a Hadi and has not fasted before the Eid, then one should fast of the days of Mina, 11, 12 and 13th of Dhul Hijjah. Chapter 69. Observing Sahum fast on the day of Ashura. Narrated Salim's father. The Prophet said, whoever wishes may fast on the day of Ashura. Narrated Aisha. Allah's Messenger ordered the Muslims to fast on the day of Ashura, and when fasting in the month of Ramadan was prescribed, it became optional for one to fast on the day of Ashura or not. Narrated Aisha. Quraysh used to fast on the day of Ashura in the pre-Islamic period, and Allah's Messenger too used to fast on that day. When he came to Medina, he fasted on that day and ordered others to fast too. Later, when the fasting of the month of Ramadan was prescribed, he gave up fasting on the day of Ashura, and it became optional for one to fast on it or not. Narrated Humayd bin Abdur Rahman. That they heard Muawiyah bin Abi Sufyan on the day of Ashura during the year he performed the Hajj, saying on the pulpit, O the people of Medina, where are your religious scholars? I heard Allah's apostles saying, this is the day of Ashura. Allah has not enjoined its fasting on you, but I am fasting it. You have the choice either to fast or not to fast on this day. Narrated Ibn Abbas. The Prophet came to Medina and saw the Jews fasting on the day of Ashura. He asked them about that. They replied, "This is a good day, the day on which Allah rescued Bani Israel from their enemy. So Moses fasted this day." The Prophet said, "We have more claim over Moses than you." So the Prophet fasted on that day and ordered the Muslims to fast on that day. Narrated Abu Musa. The day of Ashura was considered as Eid day by the Jews, so the Prophet ordered, "I recommend you Muslims to fast on this day." Narrated Ibn Abbas. I never saw the Prophet seeking to fast on a day more preferable to him than this day, the day of Ashura, or this month, i.e. the month of Ramadan. Narrated Salama bin al-Aqwa. The Prophet ordered a man from the tribe of Bani Aslam to announce amongst the people that whoever had eaten should fast the rest of the day, and whoever had not eaten should continue his fast, and as that day was the day of Ashura.